I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, hi everybody. I don't know how long that was an issue, so I'll just re-say thank you for joining. Everyone can still hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So thank you for joining. We have our mascot, our little lemur. Props that we need are just folded blanket tonight and anything else that you like. And we're going to start on our back. So finding any type of comfortable position on your back that allows you to be there. If for any reason that doesn't work, you can sit up for the beginning. And if you have any questions, there's a chat box at the bottom of your screen. You can always hit that and send me a private message. You don't have to send it out to everyone. You can just pick me, the host. All right. Fantastic. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining once again. All right. So settling in on your back, working on some grounding tonight. Basic grounding. You know, lots of upheaval, lots of going on, lots of movement, lots of shifts, lots of changes. So just working on that basic idea of grounding down. So maybe you have a soft gaze, maybe closed eyes. Maybe you even want to place your arms over your abdomen. Maybe they feel better beside you with palms facing up. Maybe you even want to turn the hands so the palms face down and connect with the earth. One more way to ground as we settle in. To really find your best shape in this moment. What allows you to find that ability to connect and settle in. And then find a breath. Take an inhale. Open the mouth, just release it out. Begin to notice the body against the earth. Maybe the backs of heels, the legs, buttocks, hips, back of the torso. Notice where the arms touch the earth, the shoulders, the back of the head. Notice this full connection from top to bottom. Take another round of breath here and release it out. Begin to become aware of the air on your skin. Notice how your clothing feels on your body. Notice the sounds that you hear close by or maybe even off in the distance. Take another round of breath here. Deep inhale. And just release it out. Bring some awareness to the mind. Just noticing how you have arrived today in this moment. Invitation to soften 10% more in the mind on this next cleansing breath. Take that inhale and just let go. Bring your awareness to the heart space. Notice how the breath enters, maybe creating the rise and fall of the chest. Maybe you're very connected to the actual heartbeat. Feel the back of the heart, the back body press into the earth with every breath. Notice its connection within yourself as you exhale, bringing the front heart space and the back heart space together. And allowing yourself to feel this full grounding, even through your heart. Invitation to bring the hands to the chest, one palm over the other, or you could have hands in prayer, Anjali Mudra, or allow them to stay right where they are, whatever feels good. Continue to connect with this heart space through the breath, through the heartbeat, through the movement. Begin to pull in your intention for our time together. Leave it within this heart energy. Allow it to spin. Allow it to grow. Feel it pulsing. Feel the vibrations. And the next round of breath, in for intention. Deep inhale. And release it out. Allowing that intention to grow even bigger than your physical being. Take 3 soft, even rounds of breath for anything that you need to bring in or release. No rush. When you're ready, slowly begin to come back by bringing the knees into the chest. Hug them in and release. Hug them in and release. Make some circles on the sacrum, 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And we're going to stay on our backs. And we're going to start with the asana because I have to lay down to show you. I'll try to make sure I can see myself to explain it. So bring the feet towards the left corner of the mat. Left ankle can go over the right. Arms come up and shift over also to the left side of the mat. And you can even pull on the right wrist to get a side body stretch here. So bringing and pushing those hips towards the right. Opening up in the entire side body. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Really just use the breath here to create a whole line of energy and space along the body. Think from the soles of the feet out those fingers. I placed a dream catcher in the garden of my soul tonight. My wish that I will somehow capture the hopes and dreams of the seedlings I have planted and ensure a bountiful harvest. continue to use that breath to create that space, create length, open up to create some freedom. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Release from this side, come back through center. You can hug the knees into the chest and release. You can hug the knees into the chest and release. Make those circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And then we're going to come to the other side. So right feet come, so the feet come to the right corner of the mat, sorry. All those right feet, everybody's right feet comes to the corner of the mat. And you can place the right ankle over the left. Hands can come up and angle towards that right corner. You can grab the left wrist to help create a little bit more of a pull through the side body. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. When you feel small and unseen and ill-equipped to handle life's insurmountable obstacles, take a moment to sit, shut your eyes, and inhale the silence. Listen to your heart beating. It's reassuring you that it is with you all the way. Don't forget to exhale. Never let quitting cross your mind. You have come too far for that. Reevaluate, ask for help if you can, and readjust your plan. There is always a way to get through it. Alpha. And use that breath to find that beautiful space that you can create within. Allow the back body to still be held and supported as you're able to open up. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Release back to center. We're going to hug the knees back into the chest. Hug the knees in and release. Hug the knees in and release. Make circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Take any other releasing movements here. And then we're going to come to a tree on our back. So very simply, that means start with the legs extended. We'll bring the right knee bent towards the sky. Right foot is by the left thigh. Let the knee fall out. If you need the support of the blanket or a block underneath the thigh because it's not reaching the earth, that's fine. Keep the left foot gently flexed. Invitation to still ground down through palms on the earth or lift the arms above you overhead. You can also hold opposite arms and allow them to drape over you. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Continue to notice the support of the earth underneath you. So continue to come back to that idea of grounding, of rooting, of feeling solid with what can support you, feeling connected with what is supportive. Because shock is difficult to get along with. His landlord tried to evict him, claiming that with shock in the building, none of the other tenants stayed for more than 6 months. The landlord found out soon enough it's not so easy to make shock go away. I could have told him that. Shock drove the ambulance after my accident. When I first came to, I told Shock this couldn't be happening to me. Not now, not like this, not out of the blue on a good day. When I woke again, I was in the hospital and he was gone. I desperately wanted to ask him some questions. What happened and why? I became obsessed with the details of the event. Now we've met several times through the years. Though we rarely speak of that morning, it changed our whole relationship. Maybe you find being in this shape with ease. Maybe think of the breath and where it can connect within the body to allow it to open even more, to create space, create length, and to again come back to that idea of rooting. Maybe you're struggling even here, just to lay still this evening. So where can you clear the mind a little bit more to just be right where you are, to slow the struggle down just another 10%. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Allow the right knee to come back up to center, the arms release down. If they are up, you can hug both knees in again, hug them in and release, hug them in and release. Make the circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. You can even find a happy baby here or a ninja kick out baby. One heel comes in towards the groin while the other leg kicks out, and then do it the opposite way. What would feel good as a release for you? Taking 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale for 1. Inhale, exhale for 2. Take that last round of breath. Hug the knees in and then allow the legs to go long, coming to the other side. The right leg stays long, left foot comes up by the right thigh. Let that knee fall out. Again, feel free to prop this knee up with a blanket, with a block, with a book. Arms can stay down by the sides, palms could face down to ground more. You can lift the arms over your head. You can clasp opposite arms, whatever feels good. And then gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again. And just let go. Your story is not just a shallow pool, collecting a little rain here and there from what maybe could have, should have been. Your story is a sea, weighted with mystery, and wave after wave, it reveals more and more. No matter the opportunities you missed or left behind on the shore, your story has every ounce of water it needs. It is not missing any long gone thing. All by grace, it is still being written in the way it was meant to be. Morgan Harper Nichols, just madly in love with this book. Find that breath. Notice where you are without judgment. Again, maybe this feels divine. Maybe this is a complete struggle. Maybe one side is easy and one side is a challenge. So just notice without judgment what is happening. Maybe you don't have the reason why. Maybe it's not meant to be revealed yet. What can you do while you're here? Can you shift and change? How can you expand? How can you release from struggle? Find a little more breath. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Bring the left knee back up. The arms can come down. Hug both knees into the chest and release. Hug them in and release. Make the circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Again, feel free to find happy baby. That's bent knees, either holding behind the thighs to rock back and forth or grab the outer edges of the feet. And then we're going to take a pause from these 2 poses. Invitation is to stay on your back, or if you feel that you're ready to come up, very gently and slowly you can find your way to seated to find your pause. There's no right or wrong. It's where you feel the most comfortable to do so. And when you're ready, find some stillness. And just notice. Notice what has come up. Maybe things are very still and quiet. Maybe they're still very busy. Just take a look without judgment. Notice what's happening. Don't attach yourself to it. Just let it happen and be. Let it come and go as it needs to. When you're ready, slowly come back. We're going to find our next shape, which is butterfly. So soles of feet are going to come together. This is where I offer you sitting up on a blanket because it can help your pelvis shift forward so that you're not doing this for your pose, the round of the upper back. So if you sit on the very edge of a blanket, not full on the blanket, it can help the hips, the pelvis shift forward to find more of a forward fold. And I'm going to invite you to bring the heels a little closer in. It'll be a little more in the groin. We're grounding down, opening up some in that hip area. I'm trying to get into that root chakra. Invitation to stack any props that you might need. If you want anything to rest the elbows on, you can place the forehead and the heels of the hands. You can also just let yourself fold and just see where you are. If anybody needs any help with that shape, if having the heels closer is excruciating, then move them further away, right? So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Protection is sensible and artistic. In this country, we know her as a craftswoman. For her living, she makes capes and weaves shawls. She has also been a midwife. She notices that some people insist on wearing her garments far into the hot season. Others refuse to put a cloak on even when they are cold. Protection has lived in many kinds of houses. Always the walls are decorated with rugs and blankets from around the world. She has studied ancient architecture and the habits of butterflies and spiders. When the caterpillar is dying and the new butterfly is yet to be born, it constructs a chrysalis. We also have this need. However, many of us are too proud or have forgotten how to go inside. Protection has learned from the butterflies how to make a chrysalis for the changing human heart. As we're folding forward here, our back heart space begins to open just slightly. The shoulder blades begin to part ways, and the back heart gets a little bit of air. It's a place that's often tight in our bodies. Why? Because we keep it protected, we keep it safe. We have extra layers there, thanks to Mother Nature, who's smart. No one can sneak up behind us, just snatch our heart from our backs. What do you feel here when you breathe through this place? Is it another spot that you're completely closed off and unwilling to let anyone in? Is it completely open and maybe overly accessible? So just begin to notice how you connect with this space. Can you find the breath just as in the beginning when we pressed the back of the heart into the earth to ground and then pulled it back into ourselves to connect? Can you find that deeper connection with the entirety of your heart, 360 degrees around? Love comes with a knife, not some shy question, and not with fears for its reputation. Love is the madman working his wild schemes, tearing off his clothes, running through the mountains, drinking poison and quietly choosing annihilation. There are love stories, and there is obliteration into love. You've been walking the ocean's edge, holding up your robes to keep them dry. You must dive naked under and deeper under, 1,000 times deeper. Love flows down. The ground submits to the sky and suffers what comes. Tell me, is the earth worse for giving in like that? Don't put blankets over the drum. Open completely. Through me. Again, where can Can you find the breath? Or can you release into your heart? Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Slowly begin to roll yourself up. Help the knees back up. Allow the knees to fall. Tick-tocking side to side. Feet can be wider than the hips. You can find a full twist if you like. When you're ready, maybe you need some seated cat-cow. Maybe you need tabletop for a full cat-cow. So find whatever organic movements you need to help you release from this shape. And when you're ready, find a little stillness. Just notice what's coming up for you in this moment. Not in the last one, just now. Allow it to wash over you and just let it go. Let it just be an experience. Slowly begin back. We'll find our next shape. Our next shape is going to be upright swan. Well, we're going to start with an upright swan. So maybe you want something for underneath your hands. So we're going to bring that right knee behind the right wrist and let the left leg go straight behind us. You can have a blanket underneath that back shin, the left shin, to help lift the back knee if it's bothering you. Can also have something underneath this hip. We don't want to just completely tip to the side. If this is excruciating, this shape, then you can always do a figure 4 on your back, right ankle over the left knee, lift that foot. You could place that left foot on a wall and you can do deer pose. Knees come up, allow them to fall over to the left. Walk the hands out in front of the shin and back towards the back foot, staying far out to get into that hip. Lots of options, but we're going to start upright and not in sleeping swan. So this is the shape we're looking for to start. So if you need something underneath your hands, feel free. So find the shape that's working for you. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. While you're in the upright swan, if staying upright becomes too much, then make the choice, if you need to come to the sleeping swan. But give your heart time to open here. Give the back body time to feel some strength before just finding that sleeping position. How did it feel this morning? Still waiting for answers for your pain. Dawn was breaking through, yet no relief. And the sun was only a reminder of time passing by. You did not wonder where you go from here. You wondered if you could go from here. And as you struggled to take that breath, you wondered if this is hopelessness. How did it feel? How did it feel? It is okay if there were no words for it, for language can never possibly hold this fear so dark and cold. And maybe tomorrow, when you look back, you will find the strength to tell the story. But until then, it is okay to be confused. In this stillness, trust that morning still overcomes darkness, and there is a miraculous place you have been invited to. Breathe through. Morgan Harper Nichols. So where is your sensation? Where do you need to breathe through for this? Come back to that idea of rooting. That root chakra at the base of our spine. So notice that here. Notice that sensation in this middle area of the pelvis. Do you feel fire? Can you imagine sending that energy deep down in order to root yourself, to strengthen your connection and your stability? Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are, so fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. Dana Falls. A heart and a soul are two distinctly different entities. They have discussions back and forth, always debating as to who is the boss of you. The heart likes to remind your soul that it is vital because it keeps the body alive by pumping its blood, and without it, you would surely die. And the soul always encounters back. Imagine that. I'm alive, and I don't even need a heart. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, if you've come to the sleeping swan, help yourself back up. If you're in the upright swan, curl the back toes, gently lift the back knee. Let's sweep that right knee back. And you can find any release that you want. You can find some cow and cats. You could come to a child's pose. You could go through a flow, find downward facing dog, anything that feels good for you. And we're going to take 3 rounds of breath. as our pause before we move to the other side. So inhaling, exhaling for 1. Inhaling, exhaling for 2. Inhaling, exhaling for 3. When you're ready, we're going to find our way to that other side. So left knee comes forward behind that left wrist, right leg's going to go long. Again, the blanket can go underneath the shin to help prop up that right knee. We're going to start in the upright swan. Feel free to have something underneath your hands if you feel like you need to be lifted more, if you feel like you're sinking too much. If being in the upright position starts feeling too uncomfortable in a way that's unmanageable, come down to your sleeping swan. And you can always do this on your back, finding the figure 4, left ankle over the right. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. Even if you're in that figure 4 on your back, connecting with that sensation at the base of the spine, finding that fire, and noticing how you can connect into the earth. Find your way to feeling a little bit more rooted, finding that stability, a little bit more grounded. Devotion lights candles at dusk. She braids her grandmother's hair with an antique comb. She works as an ecologist at the university. She wears long, flowing tunics with bright cotton pants. She has never taken a dance class, but she moves with an unstudied grace, sensitive to the edge where her body meets the air. Devotion balances periods of great stillness with times of movement and exuberance. She has prayed in many temples and seen evidence of God in unlikely places. She keeps a postcard of St. Francis above her desk. A Yemenite amulet hangs in her window. Always she remembers to honor the mother. When I find the weight of the world becoming too heavy to bear, I find a place where I can shut out the noise and start humming. I hum to silence the traffic, the doorbell, and the sirens, anything that causes my heart to race. I hum to silence my soul from its inquisition. I hum to soothe my heart to sleep. Alpha. Are you able to find that breath here? Are you stuck in a fiery place? Maybe you need to hum through your throat. Often when we're talking about chakra work, we're finding focus on one, not remembering that we are connected through them all. So opening up in your throat, finding that space that expands can help nourish everything that comes below and send that energy right back up to the crown. Are you feeling like you're unable to ground down? Are you feeling like you can be pushed over from the wind? Try to open the throat. Try to hum to yourself. Try to make a little noise. It's okay. And let that vibration help open up all the way down the line to the root. It's easy to fix your mind on what fell apart last year, but in that raw reflection, be gentle. with your story, knowing that through everything that did or did not happen, pieces will still come together, and you will look back and see after everything, you now have strength to carry on. Picked petals without regard for their stems, leaving them stripped of their color. When you saw what you had done, you ran and ran and ran eastbound through the deserts to hide, never to return to flowers again. New day is calling you to stumble into the sunlight where old ways of thinking are made right, so you can be at peace, to roam through flowery fields again. For mercy is always louder than sharp cries of shame. It knows where you have been, but still calls you by your name, inviting you to step forward with the boldness to begin a way of living that gives freedom and to sow new seeds into the earth again. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and let go. If you're on the back, just release the bind, hug the knees into the chest. If you're in the upright swan, curl the right toes, lift that knee, gently release the left knee back. And if you're in the sleeping swan, begin to rise. Again, do the same. Finding any movement here to release. Cow, cat, a flow, downward dog, staying on your back, hugging the knees in and releasing, hugging the knees in and releasing. So find that organic movement that allows you to just release from this shape. And when you're ready, find the pause. And noticing what has come up, what has come to visit. Maybe you're feeling shifts, maybe you're feeling changes. Maybe you feel silence, maybe you feel noise. Noticing without judgment. And then when you're ready, slowly come back. We're going to find our way onto our backs for our bridge pose, which of course at the beginning, I forgot to say, get a stack of books or blocks. If you don't have one, that's fine. We'll figure it out without it. You can and you have it. Grab a stack of books or the block, lift the hips, place them underneath the sacrum. Again, dealing with this idea of grounding, normally we have palms up. If tonight you need the palms down to really root, allow them to do so. So flip them down, maybe notice the difference in sensation from having them up to having them down. And if you don't have anything to put under the sacrum, just have the knees bent and just enjoy the time on the back. So gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. At the very center of our being is a great spaciousness that is untouched by sin and illusion. A point of pure truth which is inaccessible to the fantasies of our mind or the brutalities of our will. like a pure diamond, blazing with the invisible light of heaven. It's in everybody. And if we could only see it and integrate it, we would radiate a peace that would make all the darkness and all the cruelty vanish forever. It is okay to long for days past. It's natural to feel the imprint of what was, for all you lost is still part of you. These memories carve their way into your heart, and you do not know how to recover its original form. And even when you try, you cannot shake the old feelings, her words, those photographs. But now, even here, after all of these years, you are free to remember, while also moving onward on this path filled with light, even if your earliest steps are small. Perhaps the tears that welled in your eyes today were a way of letting it all go, a way of releasing what kept you from flying above the hills that once held you back. Morgan Harper Nichols. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. When ready, press the feet into the earth, lift the hips, remove whatever is underneath the sacrum. Hug the knees, come on all the way down on your back, hug the knees into the chest and release. Hug the knees into the chest and release. Make those circles on the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. If you want, find a happy baby here. So bend the knees, face the sky. You can grab behind the thighs and rock back and forth. You can grab outer edges of the feet and rock back and forth on the spine, or even hold the big toes for balancing bear. Releasing out in any way on your back. Then when you're ready, hug the knees into the chest. Allow the knees to fall over to the right. Open the arms in a T or cactus. Look over the left shoulder. Just find some breath. Allow yourself to just release whatever else you're holding deeply inside. Begin to let it go. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again. Just let go. Allow the knees to come back to center. Hug them in and release. Hug them in and release. Make those circles in the sacrum 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Ready, allow the knees to fall to the other side, opening the arms in a T or cactus. Looking over to the right. Knees should be over to the left. I'm just doing it the opposite way that you just did. Again, gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again. Just let it all go. Gather the breath deeply and release. Inhale once again and just let go. Bring the knees back up to center. Hug them in and release. Hug them in and release. Making circles on the sacrum 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Invitation here for any final movements that you might need before we set up for Shavasana, final resting pose. You could put your legs up your wall. You could have a bolster or the blanket rolled underneath the knees. You can just have legs long, arms beside you. If you still feel a strong need to ground down, palms could stay down. So finding your release here, what allows you to be the most at rest. And then take a deep inhale. Open the mouth and just let go. Begin to soften in the brow. Eyes are heavy. Wiggle the bottom jaw back and forth, releasing any final tension. Allow the tongue to be heavy, mouth relaxed. Having a thought, just let it pass. Another one comes in, just let it go. Enjoy these final moments, and I will call you back. Slowly begin to come back. Bringing your breath back into your beautiful body. Joining the spirit with the physical. Wiggling fingers and toes, nodding head side to side. Bringing the arms overhead for a morning stretch to bring the body back. Where you are, the divine invitation is always there to remain. Ready, hug the knees into the chest, roll over onto the right and pause here. Place of beginnings, knowing that all things from this moment forward are possible. Ready, coming up to seated, closed eyes or soft gaze, reclosing them once there. And pausing, just noticing what has shifted, what has changed. Hopefully we filled what was empty and emptied what was full. Gathering hands at heart center, palms pressed together, hands directly on the chest, coming back to heartfelt intention. Breathing it in through this heart space. Take a deep inhale. Open the mouth and release. Allowing it to just fly away off to the universe, knowing it will be heard. It was an honor and privilege to practice with you this evening. We bow our head to our hearts, and together we say, Namaste. Thank you, everybody. If you didn't realize, my dog has come in and attacked the sacred yoga space. Never sacred from the puppies. Thank you if you're joining virtually. Thank you for coming. So grateful. I'm going to pause the video